So, how would you like to get something for free or practically free and sell it for $200 on eBay less than 24 hours after you listed it? That actually just happened to me the other day. I'm going to start off by showing you this item, which is a type of item that most people will miss when they come across it. And if you like this example, I'm going to show you 9 other examples of items I sold mostly on eBay in September 2021 for $100 to several $100s. And all of these items were sourced for relatively low compared to what they eventually wound up selling for. And they come from diverse categories. So hopefully sharing these items with you can help you when you go out sourcing and looking for treasure. So this is the item I was talking about that we're going to start off with. It's the Marine Bombing Squadron 614 book made through the Fleet Marine Force. Now, if it looks familiar to you, that might be because you remember seeing it from my estate sale secret room sourcing video. And I found this in the secret room itself, a secret box in the secret room. There it is, just buried in that box there. And I couldn't wait to get this listed. You could tell just from looking at it that it's vintage, but what about it makes it worth $200? It's not because it's Marines. It's not simply because it's military. It's not because it's in relatively, fair condition. The spine is intact and stuff, so it's not like torn to shreds. Inside it does provide a nice history about this squadron. But the thing that makes this valuable primarily is that inside it has a squadron roster. That is crucial. I have shown this before and I have sold books for hundreds of dollars that are military ones in the past simply because they have a squadron roster. And the reason for that, and this one you can see is broken down by state, and it's page after page of these names broken down by state, is that there are family members who are looking to get their hands on something like this to preserve a family legacy. And they know very well the type of squadron, for example, or type of force that a family member served in, and they continuously search for that term on eBay, hoping that something eventually is going to pop up. And some people have it like in their saved searches, so they get an automatic message from eBay whenever something with the keywords pop up on eBay. And so, sure enough, someone came across this. I don't know if it was a family member in this instance, but I do know in other instances in which I have sold items like this, family members have reached out to me and asked me to look up a specific name, for example. Now, this one also has some added value because it does have the signature from a sergeant who served on this Marine bombing squadron. And I was able to also show his name was also in the back of the book, as you can see there. So that's something that also helps to add some value to someone who's, let's say, a military collector who would want to have a piece like this. So, all those things help, but the primary thing is to look for those squadron rosters. So that's that item. Let's move on to the next one. And this one, I'm going to give a big shout out to Mrs. Primetime. By the way, these prices are not going to go in any particular order. They're kind of scattered, but this is a Pottery Barn butter dish that's sold for $210, even though it's open box and even though it has a crack on it. And you can see right there is the crack. Now, it's not a major crack. It's a slight crack, but it's still a crack nonetheless. If the crack wasn't there and it was, new in box, probably would sell for more around $300, maybe even a little more than that. So that crack does take the value down. But what did we get this for? Did we get this for free? Well, not quite. But when you hear the whole story, it's almost going to feel like that once all the other stuff sells that's part of this lot. And this is all Mrs. Primetime's doing. You might remember that there was a video I did in which I went out and got a bunch of plush for free from somebody who was moving. Well, it turns out Mrs. Primetime was following that lady on Facebook Marketplace, and she was selling this Pottery Barn item along with a bunch of other ones. She wanted $250 for the entire Pottery Barn lot. Mrs. Primetime negotiated with her, and to her credit, was able to get everything for $90. Now, even if she just got this for $90, she would have still made profit because she sold it for 210. But that's not all she got. Now, if you want to see all the items up close, you could go to our eBay store, except for the Pottery Barn candle, which I just showed you that I sourced in a recent video. But everything else here is all items Mrs. Primetime got in that deal for just $90. So she's got the Pottery Barn Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer oval serving platter for 150 bucks listed. The round serving bowl with Vixen, $150. She's got the 11-inch dinner plates, retired. They're retired sets of 8, $400. She's got the Pottery Barn reindeer cereal soup bowls, $400. She's got the Pottery Barn reindeer creamer and sugar Vixen dasher set, $125. She's got the Santa's Reindeer's dessert plate lot, $155. And then she's got the retired set of reindeer mugs listed for $130. Now, of course, I can't promise you it's going to sell for those exact prices, but whatever they wind up selling for, retired Pottery Barn stuff sells very well. These Christmas prints are known for selling very well. I know that many of you have come across this print, and some of you have this print and have reached out to me after you saw me post about it on Instagram and said you didn't realize that actually this stuff goes for this kind of money. So if you have it and you're not attached to it, this is great stuff to get listed right about now. And also a big shout out and credit to Mrs. Primetime for not only sourcing this and getting a great deal, but getting it listed way ahead of the holidays. That's when you want to make sure if you have good Christmas stuff, get this stuff listed now, because this is the time where people are starting to buy it. Like Mrs. Primetime has all of her Christmas brooches listed. They're all up. So if you like Christmas brooches, check out our store for that. All right, now this is the next item. This one just sold the other day for $212.50. I wound up, I will tell the whole story about this in a future video because I have all the footage. I actually just got it, but I decided I had to list the Jerry Garcia. I couldn't wait. This is a classic picture of Jerry Garcia. Now, this actually comes from a photo made into a store promo poster that was made by Warner Brothers. Now, this is not like a traditional poster that you could roll up. This one is made of cardboard, and the cardboard is fragile, which is why you could see there's chipping all around the edges of it. Now, this was sitting out all day at an indoor garage sale, and this was actually the one that was laying on top. Get this, there were 19 other posters, and I was getting towards the end of the day, and these were still sitting here, and I just kept looking at it, and I said to myself, you know what? I know it's damaged, and I know part of the J and the E are gone from Jerry. I said, but this picture is so iconic. You know, you could see there he's holding a switchblade, which is kind of odd, right, for Jerry Garcia, because he's known for being peaceful, and here he is holding a switchblade that he actually wound up getting in Europe when he was over there. That I said, because the main part of this poster is intact and you could see Jerry really well, that's good, and he's centered. I said, I think someone would get this, try to either restore it or put it in a frame, and maybe both, and would pay up for it. And this is something that just doesn't come to the market off, because this is an original item, again, displayed in the stores for advertising purposes in the 70s. So I wound up getting this poster and 19 other ones for like 20 to, it might have been $25, but $20 to $25. The person who had it he just didn't want to deal with it anymore. He had all these, he was lugging them around. He didn't know really how to ship them and stuff. So he's like, listen, if you want them, that's the price. So I got them all, and I couldn't wait to get home and list it. Now, this one does have a wedge on the bottom. You could see there's like that triangular part. That's actually detached and had to be taped on the back. So there's a bunch of tape. So you want to make sure you display it. But all that was displayed, and again, sold for $212.50. So then what happened is that night that I found these, I was talking about it in my member live show, which we do once a month. These are for people who are at the platinum and priority level of membership. And what I'll do is I'll go over some things that I found, and if anyone is interested in them, it's available for them if they want it. And so many of you know Sylvia. She was very interested in. I mentioned that there was a Malo one, and so Sylvia wanted the Malo one because she's a big fan of Malo. And this is the one I didn't sell on eBay because I just gave it exclusively to Sylvia. And that's one of the advantages of membership is I try to give people deals exclusively ahead of time before I even list it. Sylvia picked this one up for $150. Now I was going to list it for around $200 or more. Like the minimum I was going to list it was $200. So, I took $50 off of it. And again, I might have even taken more off it because I hadn't really determined exactly what I listed for. But Sylvia's so awesome and she supports the channel so well that I had no problem giving this to her for the 150. But it was, a great deal all around for her and for me. So, very happy to get that off to her. And I have 18 more to list. I've listed 2 more at this point, and then I should say 18 more to sell. So I have 16 more to list and two more I recently put up. So if you want to go check out the store, you could see. Like I have one of Pharoah Sanders, which is absolutely amazing. You got to see that one. So anyway, here's some. You knew this was coming. Some comic book nostalgia here, and some cartoon nostalgia for all of you Thundercat fans out there. Ho, there you go, Lino, Panthro. It is just so awesome. I love the Thundercats. I watched the Thundercats when I came home from school as a kid, and it was one of the best cartoons. The animations, the graphic were amazing. And the funny thing about this is that this comic was basically considered worthless for a very long time. Like no one cared about it. But then as nostalgia grew for Thundercats and it came out that they're going to be making a Thundercats movie, and it looks like the people behind the project are really people with a good reputation. Looks like this movie is going to come out and be awesome. All the speculation started going wild, and people started to want to go back and get the original Thundercats book. Now I've sold this Thundercats book before. This one here wound up selling for $130. I've sold it for higher if it's in the newsstand edition. Newsstand means it would have the UPC code on the bottom, but this is a direct edition, which is why you see that little star on the bottom. The newsstands will generally go for more. So that's why you see that it says direct right there. That's what that means. So I'll have to go into more detail maybe in another video. But yeah, if you come across Thundercats #1, you might come across that in a box. You're flipping through somewhere, and someone who has it might just have absolutely no clue that this is something that's really valuable right now. So definitely look into Thundercats, anything vintage Thundercats. Now, this is an interesting trade paperback series to look out for. Superman, the Man of Steel. Now, it's actually a 9-part series. I didn't have all 9 of them, but I was able to obtain 7 of them in a deal with one of my local comic sources. Now, I wound up getting this plus a ton of other things in several boxes for $50. So this is just a small portion of what I wound up getting everything for. But this sold for $100, and these are just very difficult to find right now. These ones with the Superman, the Man of Steel. So trade paperbacks. They're thicker books. They look like this. They're a collection of comic books all into one. I've talked about trade paperback books before, but this is just a title to definitely be on the lookout for. So this is again part of a large lot deal. So when it's all said and done, this is going to wind up being another great sale from the whole overall unit. And this is something that I just wound up having in a collection, something that I had for like, got for like 15 cents in a collection. One of this I sold previously was one that I had from when I was a kid. So I would have paid 65-cent cover price for it back then. And now I think that one sold for almost $200. So moving on to the next item here. Let's see. We did Superman is all right. Roll the romance music. I always look for the beautiful ladies of comic book land and in other areas. But this is a comic book character called Purgatory. And she was a character originally came out in the 1990s, 1994. Brian Polito has done some of the work on her, but this is actually not done by the original artist. This is basically it's original artwork, but it's like a homage piece done by another artist. So artists will sometimes do that. They will draw other people's characters. Now, you could get into a situation. One thing you have to be careful about: um, don't put items like this up if it's the character Dawn, because the artist for that, Joseph Michael Linsner, he will go after people, and he's done this with me, and he'll do a Vero, and he'll get your item shut down because he'll say he doesn't want anyone making art of his character because he wants to be the only one who makes the art of it. Most artists don't care. Most artists don't care. So I will look for this, because here's the thing: I know that there is a guy out there somewhere who is going to pay up for this. And I actually think this one wound up selling for $100. I think I took a best offer on it, but didn't go for any less than that. And I wound up getting this for like $10 or so. This came in like a big lot of comic art that I got in a comic art lot auction. So that's how I obtained this. So I always look for this type of stuff. Sells very well. Next one here, and you might remember me sourcing this from a while ago. This is a World War II aircraft piece. It's a nice big box here, sold for $189.99, so almost a $200 sale. This is the video here of me sourcing it at the 1940s estate sale house. And the reason why I talk about in the video that people left this behind, I'll make this a little bigger so you could see it, is that when people were flipping through it, I think that they thought that well, first of all, there was a little bit of damage on the box. So you got to overlook that for an item like this because they're hard to find. You see right there on the front there, I think someone thought it was broken. But as I showed in the video, all you have to do is take that little piece and just snap it in there. And I do it right here, and it's not broken. It just it just goes in, and that's it. So sometimes you just have to do a little bit of work, and you'll see that what might scare away some people, there's actually a way to fix it. Same thing here. Like, it looks like there's something missing, right? It looks like there's some tires missing, but oh, look, there's the tires right there. So you just found them and put them in their spot. So, everything was actually okay with that. The estate sale dealer originally had a price of $50 on it. By the way, that's a limited edition. So anything with a limited edition card you want to look out for. Said $50 on it. She wound up selling it to me for $27. So I will pay $27 all day if I could then go around and flip the item for $190. Items like this I tend to ship with FedEx Smart Post, and they usually cost around $15 or so to ship out through there. So I highly recommend using that. Next item to show you is one that's sold on the Buy It Now-a-thon event, and I gave a discount on this. This is Detective Comics 1008. I also obtained it in a comic book auction. The thing that drew me to it was because it had the Joker on it in big, bright colors, and Batman. So two classic enemies. Plus, it was 9.8, and it was the single highest graded ever made through CGC. How much did I pay for it? I paid $55 for it. I originally had it listed for $200 in my eBay store, and I wound up selling it to Robbie from Vet Picks for $150. So very happy with that sale, and Robbie wound up getting a good book there. So I like to look for these types of things. Even modern books or relatively modern books will still sell well. A great example of that is this one here, which is not even graded. It's not even graded. Came out in 2005 and sold for around $300. I might have taken a best offer of $299.99 on it, but it was practically a $300 sale. So this is Young Avengers #1. This is going to be something that is becoming increasingly popular, probably in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and so people are out there looking for this book. And here you could see this book is in really, really nice condition. So excited to have this one. And by the way, if you're wondering, it gets confusing with comic books. Now direct editions will act modern books will actually have a UPC code on it, whereas back in the day, the newsstand editions it didn't say direct edition. Direct editions had like pictures on the bottom instead of a UPC code. So this is one of the things that does get a little confusing about comic books. So just keep that in mind. It's not a contradiction. It's just how things changed over time with comics. Wow, those are all the items. It was a terrific month. I'm just blown away by all the different treasures that were found. And by the way, I did a video about this item. It's all dedicated to this comic book and other things related to the Young Avengers. So I'm going to link to it up top if you want to get a whole bunch of more detail behind this. But I paid peanuts for this book. I got it for like 15 cents several years ago in a collection when no one even cared about it. No one even cared about it. But this is what I mean about comics. People start speculating based on news that's coming out about TV shows or movies, and all of a sudden, these things just shoot up in value. Um, Now, I talked about treasures that we had this last month and amazing sales. Well, here is someone who is also a great treasure. She is a great friend of the channel and a great friend to many of you. She has a YouTube channel by the same name, Nana Tink Treasures. Please go check her out. This is her eBay store. She has 210 items listed right now. She runs auctions on her channel as well, which are a lot of fun. She does them with Victoria from the Adventures with Victoria channel. So please go check out Nana Tink. Tell her that I said hi, and just go visit her. And if you see something you like, tell her Primetime said hi. She'll get a kick out of it. So thank you, Nana Tink, for all the support you've done. And anyone who becomes a member of this channel, I will also be sure to give you a shout out in one of the videos, show one of your show your store in one of them, and also promote it in my Facebook group, the Facebook Reselling Resource Center, which now has about 28,000 members in it. So just click the join button to see what membership's all about. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you comment. Tell me what your favorite item was. And at this point, that's all, folks. See you at the next one. Take care.